I am 65 years old, and he's 25. A real story of infidelity and forbidden love. Hi, I'm Anna Reinhardt. I'm 65 years old, and this is my real-life story. A story I never thought I'd share with anyone. Why am I telling you this now? Maybe it's because I've reached a point in my life where I no longer fear judgment. Or perhaps it's because, as I look back, I realize how deeply this chapter of my life shaped the person I am today. It's a story of love, guilt, and choices, a story of finding myself in a way I never thought possible. I'm not sharing this to defend my actions or seek forgiveness. I'm sharing it because I know I'm not alone in having lived a life filled with contradictions, desires, and regrets. And maybe, just maybe, someone reading this will feel a little less alone. It all started on a rainy afternoon in a small cafe near my home. I'd been widowed for 5 years, and though I filled my days with hobbies and routines, I felt invisible, as if I no longer had a place in the world. That's when I met Eric Fisher, a 25-year-old artist who looked at me as if I were someone worth noticing. That moment, and everything that followed, changed me in ways I couldn't have imagined. But with that change came consequences, choices, and lessons that I'll carry with me forever. I was sitting alone in my favorite corner of the cafe, flipping through an old book, when he approached me. "Excuse me," he said, holding out his sketch pad. "I hope you don't mind, but I just drew you. You looked inspiring." I stared at the sketch, startled. It was me, drawn with a kind of vibrancy and life that I hadn't seen in myself for years. "You're very talented," I said softly, feeling a warmth rise in my chest that I hadn't felt in a long time. Over time, our chance encounters turned into planned meetings. Eric would talk about his dreams of being an artist and the struggles he faced trying to make a name for himself. I shared stories of my younger years, the love I had for my late husband, and the deep loneliness I'd carried since his passing. One evening, as we walked by the river, Eric took my hand. "Anna, do you think it's wrong to feel this way about someone so different from yourself?" I froze, my mind swirling with guilt and longing. "Eric, what we feel is complicated. The world won't understand." Our secret meetings became more frequent, but so did my inner turmoil. I noticed the judgmental stares of strangers and heard whispers among acquaintances. The worst came when my daughter Clara accidentally saw me with Eric one evening. "Who is he?" Clara demanded. "What are you doing, Mom?" "He's just a friend," I stammered, though I knew how hollow it sounded. "A friend? He's younger than me. Don't you see how this looks? People will think you're losing your mind." Her words cut deep, but I knew her anger came from love. Still, the confrontation pushed me to question whether my feelings for Eric were worth the cost. One evening, Eric surprised me with a painting, a portrait of me surrounded by blooming roses, symbolizing resilience and beauty. "You've changed me, Anna," he said. "You've taught me that love doesn't care about numbers, rules, or expectations. It just is." Tears filled my eyes. "Eric, I've felt alive for the first time in years because of you. But I can't let my happiness come at the expense of your future. You deserve someone who can give you a family, a lifetime." He shook his head. "You're my future, Anna. Even if it's not forever, I want this, us." Despite our love, I couldn't ignore reality. I began to pull away, avoiding Eric's calls and returning to my old routine. My heart ached, but I convinced myself it was for the best. Then one day, Eric appeared at my door. "Anna, I know you're scared, but love is never a mistake. Even if it's not conventional, it's real. Let's stop worrying about the world and live for ourselves." In that moment, I realized our love had already changed me. Eric had reminded me that I was still capable of feeling, of dreaming, of being more than just a shadow of my past. In the end, we made the difficult decision to part ways. Not because our love wasn't real, but because we understood that our paths, while intertwined for a beautiful moment, couldn't sustain a shared future. I wrote Eric a letter. You've given me the courage to embrace life again. I'll carry you in my heart forever, but I need to walk the rest of my journey alone. Live boldly, my dear Eric, and never regret the love we shared. Years later, Eric became a renowned artist, and one of his most famous works was a painting titled The Bloom of Her Soul, a tribute to the woman who changed his life. When I saw it in a gallery, I smiled, knowing that our love, though fleeting, had left an indelible mark on us both. Love can appear in the most unexpected forms and at the most unexpected times. It challenges societal norms and forces us to confront our fears and desires. But true love also teaches us the value of selflessness, courage, and the strength to let go when it's the right thing to do. By embracing love, even briefly, we grow into fuller versions of ourselves, and that's a gift worth cherishing, no matter the outcome.